Hey guys, it's me, Double D, with another episode of Yoshi's Woolly World. In the last episode, we concluded World 4 by defeating Naval Piranha twice. The second time more rage-inducing. And in this episode, with our newly formed Nintendo 64 Yoshi! Yeah, I just had to do that, kid. Anyway, so, we're gonna get started in the snowy area of World 5. And it's so beautiful. I always loved winter, just for the snow, nothing else. Even though, yeah, and I live in a state where snowing should be very common in winter. However, for the past few years, it hasn't been. Okay, well, last year at least. I'm not sure about the previous years, but it hasn't been snowing lately in this area, and I wanted to in the winter again. So with that out of the way, let's get started on 5-1. Fluffy snow, here we go. You know, I can never hear the phrase here we go without thinking Totally Spies. What? Father? Okay, that me versus Hosen is funny. Anyway, right off the bat, there's a hidden cloud here. Where? There it is. However, we don't have a yarn ball to take care of that. There's a Shy Guy over there. However, to get your yarn balls for now, this Patooey plant is spitting out Shy Guys. And I just totally walked into it, but hey, at least you know where to get Shy Guys. So, here we have the main mechanic of this level, as soon as I get this thing to contain stamp patches. Anyway, so, the main mechanic of the level is this snowball. Yeah, every time the snowball rolls, it will slowly get bigger as it goes. And also there is a hidden cloud somewhere in this area, yeah, right up there, because it'll give you hearts. Anyway, you'll also see these ice blocks that'll block your way. You can't break them with your yarn balls. However, if you push the snowball, I gotta get into a really good position. There we go. Anyway, you push the snowball, it'll break the ice blocks like nothing. Yeah, you want the ice block to snowball to get big enough to break those blocks over there so you can get that Smiley Flower, but also to get these things, because both of these clouds contain beads that have stamp patches. And I believe that's big enough, but I want to kill the Patooey plant first, so I don't have to worry about them. Yeah, so please die. Thank you. So yeah, I believe this should be big enough to be able to break those. Yes, it is. Okay, now let me get to the other side, so we will just roll it over, rolling like a snowball. I think I got the song wrong, but I don't really care right now. And I just wasted that yarn ball trying to get more stamp patches when I found that there isn't any. I don't know why I'm talking in monotone like this. Okay, let's just stop that. Okay, so we reached the dead end for the snowball. And can you push it down the cliff? That's what I'm wondering, because I never tried that before. Okay, no, it can't be pushed off a cliff. That's clever game design if you ask me, preventing it from being pushed off a cliff. Also, another way to get those ice blocks is, well, fire. So, with these, I forgot what they're called, but they're totally not Potobos. So, with these, you can melt the ice. Yeah. Anyway, so let's just wait till it's on fire while I push this and to get ourselves Wonderwool number 1. Okay, so yeah. Unfortunately, these guys have an interval as to when they'll relight on fire, so a lot of patience will be have in this level. Anyway, so let's go into... Wait, heart, I must get you. Now let's go into the pipe. Okay, so there's a lot of beads that are encased in ice, some of which might contain stamp patches, so it's in your best interest to take these fiery enemies before they touch the ice so they'll melt it on their own. Also, we have a new item up there. You see that is... Oh, I can't get that on my own? Huh, that's sad. Anyway, you see a red watermelon. I said watermelon. Those things aren't melting the ice even though they're touching it? Okay. Anyway, this red watermelon. Yeah, it basically lets you breathe fire as long as you have some energy into that watermelon. Yeah. And I wasted it. I wasted the last shot. Yeah, it gives you 3 shots to work with. And that tap just hit me right there, but I guess I walked into it. But yeah. You want to save these watermelons for later. Until then, you're going to be walking back and forth to get these fiery enemies. Yeah. So with that out of the way, let's get you, because I believe it contains something good. No, you don't. Okay. let's uncover this warp pipe so we can be able to get out there and get the Smiley Flower, and I don't have any yarn balls, so I'm gonna have to melt this ice, and I don't think I'm gonna be able to get back up there. Yeah, I can't get back up there. Yeah, I was supposed to go up there for reasons. Actually, can I get back up there via flutter jump? No, I can't. Hell, hold the phone. If I can get up there from here, then how about from where that bead is? Yeah, so let's try it. See if I'm not totally screwed out of it. There's no way I'm gonna get this. Actually, I'm gonna have to go back to get that other ice block too. Okay, and then I have to melt it, and hopefully everything is gonna go right for this one, and got it! Okay, so it is possible. You aren't screwed at all. Anyway, so, another transformation door. And we will become... Moto Yoshi! Let's go. So, we're gonna be fast-paced on the motorcycle Yoshi. Yeah, look for your beads, and when you see the ice blocks, follow the trail of beads, because once it ends, you might want to jump. Anyway, so, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of hidden beads, and you're gonna be fast. However, the fortunate thing is, I missed it, but it's not the end of the world if you miss it. You'll know why in a bit. Anyway, so let's jump here and up here. Yeah, so it's not at the end of the world if you miss it, because, well, as soon as you get to the end, well, you'll probably see why I said it's not the end of the world. In fact, we should be getting to the end right about now. Because it takes you here, and there's that same warp pipe again, so it pretty much means you have a second chance if you haven't gotten everything. Yeah. It's really nice to have well, a transformation door just like it. So, I'll try this again to see what I have missed. And hopefully I'll be able to get it this time. Because that would be bad if I couldn't get it a second time. Got it! Okay. And, okay, I think that's all the stamp patches that I missed. And so, I will see you guys back at that door. And nothing has been missed, and the Shy Guys have been respawned after I left, so... You see some ice blocks in here, so what you want to do, we are now farther and we can now easily get these fiery things. So, with that, let's melt these two pipes. Or rather, melt the two ice blocks that are supporting these pipes. Because, if we go into any of these pipes, the ones with beads over them, we will get, well, a way to get some more stamp patches here. And, if you go into the middle pipe, I believe it contains something good. No it doesn't. It's just a way for us to get out if the other one is blocked. Okay, so, but we're not done yet. You saw there was a present right there. So, if we take on this one, yeah, we can be able to get the present, and that tap is gonna get in the way. I should have gone for the other end, but at least I got it. So, with that out of the way, let's go into the middle. Yeah, there are many ways to go about this, but we have gotten everything here. I want to check really quick, because I was about to say we have gotten everything here, but let's see. Okay, so looks like we got everything here. So, with that, let's keep going on our way. And I want to get that Wonder Wool, but... Okay, good. Do not melt these until you got that Wonder Wool. Instead, melt these middle two. Yep, they contain more stamp patches, I hope. And of course, I have to kill that piranha plant. Yeah. Anyway, so... We now have all the fireballs we want, so at least we don't have to worry about missing anything. So with that, I'm gonna eat a fireball as soon as it comes down, and position myself right over here, because I want to get that bead over there because it contains a stamp patch. And I want to do this because, well, I want to make sure I have enough room to breathe. Anyway, there is also a cloud up here, which contains, well, there's a bead up there, which might contain a stamp patch, but that's Smiley Flower number 3. So with that, I'm gonna melt this one. It doesn't contain a bead, and I'm gonna breathe fire to melt this set of blocks, and kill the piranha plant so it doesn't get in my way. Okay, because I know you contain a stamp patch. Yeah, there's a red one among the blue ones. Anyway, so can I get back up there? I can't do it on my own. Yeah. So, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of waiting. There's a huge waiting game to go around just so you can be on your way. Fortunately, it's not really that long, but it can get tedious trying to wait it out. Get away, Tap Tap. I'm gonna burn you. And I think I'm not in a good position, but who can say? Anyway, so I'm gonna eat you. There we go. And, well, breathe fire on you. And do it here. And, I wonder how to get that thing, because, well, it's in a really, really jerkish location, and... Never mind, I got it. And I don't think there's anything else in here, so... Wait. There is ice up there. I want to check if there's something up there. No, there isn't. Okay, let's go back up the pipe. And right off the bat, there's a giant snowball chasing after us! Okay, quickly eat this thing, get all the beads here, and melt this ice cube for flower! Crap. Oh well, I died. At least it gives me a second chance to try again. Yeah. At least that gave me a second chance to try again. Anyway, so yeah, the snowball is gonna follow you, but you want to get everything. I want to try to get things on my first try. Unfortunately, that bead I missed could contain something, but I don't know. Anyway, so let's see if there's anything. You know, in hindsight, I probably should have gotten some yarn balls. Yeah. Well, I died on purpose anyway because, well, I don't want to be without a yarn ball for what we needed. So let's try again. And we got all the sand patches, and the Wonder Wool is right there, and we're missing a Smiley Flower. Or are we? Yeah, it's right there. Yeah, if you ever have to restart the level because you died, make sure you grab a Shy Guy first, because of that one. Anyway, flower, yes! Now, I wonder what the bonus stage is, because a lot of things have been introduced since well, the World 4. And I hope it's a new one this time, because I'm all for new bonus games, because I've been going with the same bonus game in my first playthrough. Anyway, I don't have to worry about the 20 hearts until off screen. I don't know if it holds any rewards for having all-stars on all levels, but we'll see. I'll get those off screen in another time. And puffins. What a disappointment. I was expecting something new, but instead we got puffins. Even though they're cute, and the idea is kind of morbid to say the least, because we are just using these babies to form platforms on us, and once they exhaust their clouds, they just pretty much die. But hey, at least it could be worse, right? Yeah, games you think they're for kids, they have some morbid stuff to them. I mean, well, on the surface, Yokai Watch seems to be a little kids game, especially with the anime that's on Disney XD, but it has some really dark stuff when you go further in. At least in my standards. I don't know about you guys, but I think Yokai Watch can get pretty dark when it needs to be. Anyway, for example, Jibanyan. It's so sad. But enough about Yokai Watch. We're talking about Yoshi. Anyway, our newly materialized Yoshi is an Alpine Yoshi. Yep, he has a snowflake on his nose. It's cute. Okay, so with our newly found Alpine Yoshi, with its cuteness and its blueness and its snowflake nosiness, we will get to chapter level 5-2. Frozen solid and chilled. Let's be chill about this for a second, and let's go in no badge lists. Go in no badge list. Wow. Anyway, let's go in badge list because it's the most chill thing we can do. Okay, yeah. There's gonna be a lot of cold jokes because, well, we're in a frozen place. It had to be done. Bonus game. Thanks for the information. And what's with the Smiley Flower in the middle? Anyway, so, right off the bat, there's a new watermelon. And a new enemy. That's a spray fish. Its string will pretty much launch you in the direction you go. So, what does that light blue watermelon do? A frozen breath that freezes enemies. And you can push them. Yep, you can basically push these Shy Guys' frozen enemies to their deaths. They pretty much shatter when they hit a wall. It's kind of morbid. Oh, they can also hit clouds, unlike the fire. So yeah, you're gonna be doing a lot of stuff with the frozen breath. And honestly, it's one of my favorite power-ups. Anyway, so there is our stamp patches and the Wonder Wool, and I believe there's a stamp patches among the lower. Okay, no, there isn't. It's just leading us to the watermelon. But I want to check if there is. Also, you might notice a new animation for when Yoshi is sliding on anything that has ice physics. Check it out. He is skating! It's just too cute! Yeah, it's these little details that make the game feel a lot more alive, and I got hit right there. But it's just these small details that make the game feel so alive. Anyway, there's another new enemy. This is a Nebanute. Yeah. One way to do it is to freeze them, which will allow you to reach higher places. And it'll pretty much stay this way for the rest of its life. Or not, it'll eventually break free. Like it did just there. However, there are two ways to beat it. You can hit it with Yarn Balls several times, but that's just going to beat it temporarily. Or you can freeze it again. And if I could just get to that Nebanute. Yeah, this is the only instance you'll find Nebanutes, so enjoy Nebanutes if you can. Anyway, you can ground pound it, and it will go away completely. Yeah, it's pretty much a permanent deal. Anyway, so, on to the next screen, and more hearts. And anyway, we got Ice Snippets, another new enemy. Yeah, if enemies aren't the only thing that can be frozen, Yoshis can be frozen too. If you get caught in their ice breath, well, when you're in the right setting, you will be frozen, and you will slide until you either hit a wall or another enemy. So yeah, these frozen snippets can be dangerous if you let them be. Otherwise, they're pretty easy to beat. Anyway, so I'm gonna beat you, and I'm gonna wait till the present just is above solid ground, and there's our Smiley Flower, number 2. Okay, so another thing is these spray fishes. They're gonna get in the way so excessively. However, if you look at the length of each string, you'll get an idea as to how far they will shoot you and how far they will move you. So yeah. Yeah, these spray fishes are nothing more than inconveniences. Annoying ones, but inconveniences nonetheless. Anyway, if you look through there's a hidden cloud, and the whale has sprouted! Or spouted water and formed a rainbow! And I am standing still because there's a transformation door. Anyway, we have another transformation. It's Mermaid Yoshi! And we're sliding like a seal. You should have been Seal Yoshi because, you know, seals are cute. I don't understand the hate for Poplio. Poplio's cute. He's a seal pup. Seal pups are cute. Anyway, enough about that. So, we want to break through the... wait. I know I'm wasting time, but... I know I am wasting... crap. I ran out of time. Yeah, I should have checked up there earlier. But hey, at least we get to try again. So, let's try again. And breach, Yoshi! And collect all these beads before everything goes wrong, and get the clock. Okay, now we're at the point where I miss. Yeah, take advantage of the spray fish, because they will launch you into places where you never imagined yourself being launched. Yeah, and they can save your life if you let them. And I missed some, which means I'm gonna have to go back to see if they were stamp patches. However, there is a good chance that you're gonna have to repeat this several times because the waterfalls and of course lots of breaking of ice blocks, and there's also the fact that everything after you complete the level, everything that is broken stays broken. So there's no shame of trying again because the exit door is right there. Yeah, and of course the door is, well, right here. So you don't have to worry. Well, I just unintentionally demonstrated what happens if Yoshi is frozen. He will be sliding down on the floor the direction he was blasted. So yeah, it can be a really inconvenience if in the wrong circumstances. So I'll be right back. Once again, if you want to try your hand at Mermaid Yoshi again, all the blocks aren't broken for good. However, the beads will be gone. So yeah, all it takes is just exploring around to see what you have missed, or going to places that I should have gone to, or just have a second chance at being in a position where everything was really awkward. And I ran out of time again. 2, 1. Oh, barely made it. Okay, so you can skip this one if you want to, but there is a Wonder Wool over there, and I will keep going up and up and up and up and up, up and up and up and up and up. Nothing's up there, so there. So yeah, there is our Mermaid Yoshi for today. Anyway, so we have more hearts, And of course, an icy watermelon. Yeah, so let's keep going. And unfortunately, the sprayfish water, it cannot be frozen. However, okay. However, you want to look for an enemy, and there is a hidden cloud there, which contains hearts. Anyway, so you might want to kill those 2 shy guys first. Excuse me, piranha plants. Trust me, you need to do this, because if you freeze this shy guy over here, and then push it, as soon as and then follow it, it will net you Smiley Flower number 3. Yeah, it's puzzle like this which makes me love the icy world so much. Granted, not every world is every level of this world is a winner, but this one I like so much. Anyway, we want to ride on the wet water of this sprayfish, the one that has a longer string, because there is a Smiley Flower and some stamp patches. Yeah, you can easily miss this one if you're trying to avoid sprayfish. So yeah, sometimes sprayfish can contain anything that contains, well, stamp patches and stuff. Oh, and there's a pipe. I totally forgot there was a pipe there. Anyway, so let's go in it. Okay, it might seem that there's nothing right now. However, if you wait, rainbows! Yeah, these sprayfish waters are making us rainbows. Yeah. Obviously, the sprayfish waters aren't going to be much to you because they're in the bottom, but hey, at least they can probably save your skin if you're in a really bad position. Or get you in an even worse position. Either one works. Anyway, so we got the last Smiley Flower, and I don't think there's any more stamp patches, so let's fall. And welcome back! Woo! And more hearts. As if we needed those things, but hey. And that heart is gonna drown for all of eternity. But I want to get this one because they could beads because they could contain stamp patches. I could be wrong about this. Okay, I was totally wrong. Anyway, so we're gonna be rotating this platform a long way. So you also want to make sure you get some yarn balls along the way, which means eating those snippets. And there's Wonderland number 4. Ah, no. Oh yeah, watch out for sprayfish too. They're gonna push you in the direction of the piranha plants. Anyway, so I want to go up here to get more stamp patches. Well, at least I got all the stamp patches. So there's the Nepinute. So with the Nepinute, we want to freeze it and go up here for, well, more beads. However, okay, I want to freeze it again because there is something below there that can only be achieved. Can you please rise up, please, Nepinute? Yeah, it can only be got if the Nepinute is, well, dead for real. Or at least never coming back. Yeah, so you want to move the platform all the way here because there is a door. Yeah, you want to position the platform so you can be able to walk into the door. Anyway, so this demonstrates another mechanic. If you let a frozen snippet freeze you, freeze me, please. If you let it freeze you, I wasn't close enough? Oh yeah. If you let it freeze you, you will slide in the direction that you were blown. So, yeah. It's a really clever puzzle, and I wish this level explored it some more. Yeah, so, with that out of the way, we are practically done here. Well, except for the 20 hearts, which I don't think I'll be able to get back because the sprayfish was being a jerk to me, but you can't win them all, right? Anyway, so... I would have gotten a flower to make that sprayfish blowing very cool, but no, fate just had to mess with me once again to make it uncool. Story of my life. Well, at least we got all the collectibles, and that is the main concern of this playthrough. Anyway, so, with that out of the way, come on, Miiverse. Let's see what you got, Miiverse. Bonus game. Way to taunt me for not getting the bonus game, and Yoshi's in jail. Okay, that piranha plant. Number 5 equals hard. Are you referring to the last one because it wasn't really that hard to get? Unless you're referring to level 5, in which case, spoilers! Anyway, so, our newly materialized Yoshi is... a Glacier Yoshi! And our next world that we're gonna have to explore next episode is... you. Yeah, I am totally not looking forward to this level at all. Yeah, so, with that out of the way, I think we're gonna end things off here. So, next time on Yoshi's Woolly World, we're gonna be taking on 5-3, Flying Carpet Cruise. And based on the tone when you saw it, yeah, I am not gonna like this one bit. So, pray for me please. Next episode. Okay, bye!